Hi, good morning, sir. This is Kamal Arora from Group 2 with my group members Gagneet Kaur and Dilpreet Kaur Pannu. Today we will give the group presentation on statistics, case scenario analysis. First of all, sir, I will discuss the data provided here, information about the export and import activities of various nations worldwide. The information provided demonstrate how product and services are exchanged across international borders and offers insight how different countries engage economically and trade with one another. Uh, then the Caribbean country of Aruba is a small island and it reports low level of imports and imports. Aruba exported 15 lakh 25,861 worth of goods in 2023 while importing items worth uh, 16 lakh 6,563. It demonstrated a trade surplus, meaning that the value of product exported was more than the value of goods imported. And then, sir, Afghan exports are 59 lakh 16,063 and imports, both of which are landlocked nation in South Asia. Due to its reliance on the export of agriculture and natural resource goods, Afghanistan appears to be exporting more than it's importing based on this data. Export total and import total for the British Overseas Territory of Anguilla in the Caribbean. Anguilla has a trade surplus with Aruba, indicating that it exports more goods than its buy, probably as a result of its on the service of the tourism industries. And sir, Albania, a country in Southeast Europe, reported uh, in exports and 36 lakh 59,914 in imports. They demonstrate Albania's potential for export driven economy growth by showing a trade surplus for the country. Andorra is a tiny European country with a like in export the value of 1,12,691 in imports. This number reveals a sizable trade surplus that may be attributed to the nation retail tourist industries. The United Arab Emirates, a key economic force in the Middle East, reported and export as a result of its booming oil and gas industries and position as a major center for the international commerce and logistics. The UAE as a trade surplus. Now, sir, slide 4. The calculated T statistic approximately 0.1804. The p-value for one-tail test testing a difference in either direction is approximately 0.4284. And sir, second point, critical one-tail. The critical t-value for one-tail test uh, at a significance level of 5% is approximately 1.6479. And sir, in third point, P2 tail, the two tail testing, looking for a difference both ways. The p value of around is 0.8569. And sir, fourth point is critical two tail. At a 5% level of significance, the crucial value for a two tail test is 1.9648. And sir, in fifth point, one tail test, since the wanted p value of 0.4284 is larger than the significance level of 0.05, the null hypothesis cannot be rejected that there is no statistical significant difference between exports and import in the partnered nations in 2021 in either direction cannot be concluded at the 5% significance level. Now, sir, the last point, two-tail test. Similarly, the p-value for the two-tail test is larger than 0.05, coming in the 0.8569. Thus, the here cannot exclude HO the null hypothesis. Therefore, it seems that there is in data to establish that there is statistical significant difference between export and import in the partner nation in 2021. as I sir explained this graph also. Now, sir, my another group member, Gagneet Kaur, will explain the slide number 7. Over to you, Gagneet.
Yeah, I am Gurneet Kaur. I explain the slide 7. The independent variable and the dependent variable are both continuous, and the basic regression model is a fundamental statistical tool for examining the connection between them. Its usefulness, however, is contingent on a number of essential presumptions like linearity, a linear correlation between the variable desired. Another one, independence. It's important that separate observation be made. This indicates the value of the other observation should not affect the value of the outcome variable for a single observation. Another one is a homostochasticity. All level of the predictor variable should have the same error variance. To put it another way, for every given value of the predictor, the scatter of data points around the regression line should be nearly the same. Normality of residuals. It is expected that residuals would follow a normal distribution. Assuming this to be true guarantees the reliability of the regression models accompany statistical test and confidence ranges. Common violation of these assumptions include nonlinearity, autocorrelation, outliers. Non-linearity. The linearity assumption brokens all the connection between the variable does not form a straight line, but rather a curve or other some pattern. Autocorrelation. The independence assumption is broken when the observations are not really independent, as is the case with same series data. Another one is outliers. Discordant outliers may skew regression finding and break many assumptions if they are included in the analysis. Non-normal residuals. The reliability of hypothesis test and confidence interval might be compromised if the residuals don't have a normal distribution. Possible solution to these infraction includes switching to a different regression model, adjusting the variable in questions, or adopting robust regression methods. When determining whether a basic linear regression model are reliable, it is crucial to do through diagnostic and careful interpretation of findings. Now we discuss the slide 9. Modeling the connection between a dependent variable and to a more independent variable is the goal of the sophisticated statistical method known as multiple linear regression. However, it is usefulness to continent on a number of fundamental presumptions. Model assumption and typical infringements are outlined here. Linearity. Linearity between the dependent and independent variable is preferred. Independence of error. The residual should not be reliant on the another items of the value or independent. Parameter estimations and p-value may not be as accurate if rules are broken. Homoscedasticities. All toys of the independent variable should have the same error variance, confidence intervals, and hypothesis. Tests suffer from heteroscedasticity when residual dispersion varies between level. Non-normality of residuals. There has to be normal distribution for the residuals in the case of small sample number. Deviation from the normalcy might reduce the reliability of confidence intervals and hypothesis tests. Common violations of the assumption includes non-linearity, heterodacity, multicollinearity. Non-linearity. This happens when a linear regression fails to correctly represent the connection between the predictors and the result. It may essential to perform transformation or use non-linear models. Multicollineary. This happens when the impacts of the predictors are difficult to disentangle because they are strongly linked. Multicollinearity may be reduced by identifying and dropping one of the linked variable or using regulations methods such as regression. Two result of a multiple linear regression model must be interpreted carefully. Thus, it is important to be familiar with these assumptions and the consequence of violating them. Slide 10. SLOR is applicable when a single independent variable predicts single dependent variable. It offers an easy to understand explanation how these two variables is related. However, MLOR is more suited for complicated connections since it can support several independent variables. Researchers often use a number of measures such as coefficient of determination, means, secure error, and F statistic to determine which model fits the data better. A greater degree of precise is indicated by a higher OSQ and lower MSP in inclusion of many predictors may be justified on the combined importance, which is another benefit of F statistic. In the end, model selection should strike a balance between simplicity of interpretation, forecast, accuracy, and commonly with the analysis objectives. That's it. My side. My friend discussed the another slides.
Hi, my name is Dilpreet Kaur. I will discuss another slides, slide number 11. A t-test of the slope can be used to evaluate if the independent variable significantly influence the simple linear regression and that is 0.05 level of significance. The independent variable is assumed not to significantly affect the regression under the null hypothesis that the slope is equal to 0. The alternative hypothesis is the slope does not equal 0, indicating that the independent variable does significantly contribute to the regression. That is the statics calculated as follows: t is equal to bracket b minus 0 bracket slash se bracket b. The slope coefficient standards error is represented by SE, the estimate slope coefficient distance from 0, expressed as the t-static number of standard errors may be calculated. The null hypothesis should be rejected, and researchers should infer that the independent variable significantly. The regression if the statics is higher than the crucial value of T8, T distribution table contains the value of T that's critical. Degrees of freedom, where is the sample size determine the critical value of T, which is equal to n minus 2. The sample size is 20 in the above image. There are 18 degrees of freedom as a result. At 0.05 level of significance and 18 degrees of freedom, its critical value is 2.101. The next slide is slide 12. The graphic clearly displays a p-value of 0.094 for the overall significance of the f-test. The significance level is too high, above 0.05, to rule out the possibility that the independent variables actually make a difference in the multiple linear regression. Therefore, it cannot be concluded that the independent variables have a major bearing on the dependent variable. There is no significant impact of the independent variables on the multiple linear regression at the 0.05 level of significance. In the end, its conclusion that the examination of the trade data provided intriguing new information about global economic interactions. As a result of varied economic strengths and orientations, certain nations and territories experience trade surplus while others experience trade defects. The statistical study, which included t-tests for both simple and multiple linear regression models, showed that the independent factors did not have a significant effect on the dependent variables at the 0.05 significance level. In order to make a detailed comprehension of the dynamic of trade and economic factors, more research and a more detailed methodology may be required. Here you can see the reference, and here we are done our presentation. Thank you for listening for us until here. I hope you like it and understand. Thank you from me and my group member. Thank you.